Anacapa Island, one of the Channel Islands 12 miles off the coast of Southern California. Comprised of 3 islets, Anacapa's steep cliffs, vegetated terrain, and protected beaches provide safe haven to a variety of marine mammals and seabirds. Anacapa lies in a marine sanctuary and is managed by the National Park Service.
You go out to Anacapa Island and you're really in a world apart, where you see seabirds and marine mammals and just a wilderness experience that you can't find here on the mainland any longer. So we're trying to protect that for future generations.
Protecting Anacapa includes keeping the island free of ground-based predators found on the mainland. But over the last few decades, researchers have noticed a steady decline in the population of some species of seabirds. One of the primary reasons, predation by the non-native black rat.
And then we just put the whole trap in.
In this infrared footage, a rat is seen attacking decoy eggs placed in a nesting site on Anacapa's middle islet. The eggs are similar in size and appearance to native seabird eggs.
Rats alone are responsible for about half of all bird and reptile extinctions. I think 40 to 60% of bird and reptile extinctions were caused by introduced rats on islands. So it's this huge problem.
One seabird the rat preys on is the Xanthus merlet, a rare nocturnal seabird that breeds in the Channel Islands. Estimates indicate there are between 1,000 to 3,000 breeding pairs of Xanthus merlets remaining in the United States, with several hundred of them nesting in the cliffs and caves of Anacapa. It has been petitioned for listing as an endangered species.
This is an egg that's been eaten by a rat that we found in one of the sea caves at Anacapa Island. You can see the serrated edge with big bite marks where the rats come along and chomped it. If there had been a half-developed embryo or something, there'd be blood on the inside of the egg. But this one was really fresh and the rat got it right after it was laid.
Given this chronic threat to the seabird populations on Anacapa, the American Trader Trustee Council, comprised of the California Department of Fish and Game, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, teamed with the National Park Service, the Island Conservation and Ecology Group, and many other organizations to rid the island of the black rat and document the subsequent restoration. The project was paid for using settlement funds from the 1990 American Trader oil spill in Huntington Beach, the largest oil spill in Southern California in the last few decades.
Well, a large number of seabirds were impacted by the American Trader oil spill. The trustees estimate that over 3,000 birds were killed and approximately over 9,000 chicks were not born as a result of the spill.
We decided that we would look at seabird habitat for those species that might have been in the Huntington Beach area. And the Park Service had a wonderful opportunity here on Anacapa Island where Xanthus merlets do breed, but where Xanthus merlets are compromised by the presence of this non-native species, this black rat, on Anacapa Island.
Seabirds can only nest on islands, and that's why seabirds are on islands. And so if we can remove the rats, we can essentially bring back a resource that's been there for tens of thousands of years and make it whole again and allow the seabirds to once again use that site successfully.
This is diggings, a digging likely by a rat.
But given that a single pair of rats can theoretically produce over 5,000 offspring in just 1 year, it was clear eradicating them from the island would be a significant challenge.
The eradication of rats from islands is not new. It's been carried out on about 75 plus islands worldwide, and it's been carried out successfully since about 1986. The trick, though, is to get every last rat and to make sure that you get every last rat. What's new about Anacapa is being able to remove the rats on such a topographically difficult island to work on because of the steep and ruggedness of the island.
After careful evaluation, the team decides to apply a specially formulated rodenticide via helicopter, starting with the eastern islet the first year, and then the middle and western islets the following year, the first time an application like this has taken place in North America. One of the primary concerns was how to minimize the impact of the rodenticide on the island ecosystem. The team has taken careful steps to monitor and preserve the native island resources during the eradication, including the native deer mice.
18.5. We want to know how the mice are functioning as a population before the bait drop, and because we're expecting a decline, because they'll be affected by the same bait as the rats are if in the short term, and then afterwards we'll continue monitoring just to make sure that they're back to normal and back to what we expected.
As insurance, native mice are held in a protected shed until the rodenticide application is finished. The mice will then be released in spring after the bait is no longer effective and they can forage for themselves. Other precautions include temporarily capturing and removing the birds of prey that frequent the island. In some cases, using a great horned owl to flush the raptors out.
We're attempting to capture all the birds of prey, especially the species of special concern, and the ones that are most likely to feed on carrion that has some of the poison bait in it.
Finally, after years of preparation, on a cool, clear December day, the bait is loaded onto the island and the application takes place.
Today with the helicopter, we were working the cliff sides first, completing the cliff sides, and then moving on to top of the island.
The bait is loaded into a large dispenser to accurately broadcast the pellets, using a specially designed deflector to minimize the spread of the bait into the marine environment. During the helicopter application, dive crews monitor the shoreline, while other crew members make sure the bait is evenly distributed throughout the island.
The operation was completed in a reasonable amount of time, within the time that we expected, and safely. Nobody got hurt. Bait got on the ground, and job was done.
After the initial drop, crews also apply additional bait by hand along cliffs and the shoreline, taking extra precautions to get the pellets into the areas where rats are known to forage.
We're using a slingshot to shoot these prepackaged bait bags with about 10 pellets each. Try to get up in the prime rat habitat.
For several weeks after the application, the team carefully monitors bait intake and the activity of radio-collared rats. Initial indications are that within 7 to 10 days, the rats have taken the bait and died in their burrows. 7 months after the application, the team is very encouraged by their findings.
There is no sign of rats on East Anacapa. It's been wonderful. What's really amazing is how the natural resources on the island are responding.
Testing has confirmed that the rodenticide is decomposing with no adverse impacts on the marine environment. Raptors such as these peregrine falcons have reappeared on the island and are doing well. There are also indications the winter survivorship of the native side-blotched lizards has significantly increased since the eradication.
So that's incredible information. Before that, we did not understand that rats were having that kind of impact on the native reptiles and amphibians on Anacapa Island.
During the springtime, the captive deer mice are released back onto the island. Within months, they are reproducing and steadily moving towards their original population levels. As for the Xanthus merlets, researchers are now finding intact eggs in areas that had a history of predation.
This year, because the rats are gone, we now have a whole egg on our first discovery of it a few days ago, and we're hoping we'll get a successful clutch for the first time out of this cave since our studies have begun.
Restoration is sort of both an art and a science. We have to figure out what was injured, we have to figure out what we can do to help it, and we have to figure out whether it's something that we can do without hurting something else. And this project is all of those things that we had to consider.
The Anacapa Island Restoration Project is going to set the stage for future restoration projects in showing that it's possible to think of innovative solutions to problems facing seabirds today and through the use of the techniques we've developed here to eradicate introduced predators and to have a tremendous impact.
For me, the amazing thing about these eradications is that once you've done the removal, there's a tremendous amount of natural reparation to the ecosystem or natural restoration. It takes place without any input by people.
And that's why we're here. That's really why we're here. We're not here to kill rats. We're here for the resource. We want to see the seabirds' numbers take off. We're here for the lizards. We're here for the mice. We're restoring balance.
While it will take several years to monitor and assess the overall impact of the eradication on the island, the project is already proving to be an important success story in habitat restoration for the benefit of future generations.